Hey everyone, so in this video I'm going to be doing the 3/4 view, which is a little bit challenging, but once again, if you guys understand how boxes work in space, it'll become a lot easier for you guys. So once again, let's just get started. Here we have the back view, so I'm kind of just rotating this body here. So first, of course, we always start with our proportions. First we start with our cranium, and then we have our center line of the face, the front of the face, and then here we have the mask of the face. And because it's 3/4 view, you just turn the box to the side. So if you kind of visualize this as a box on the side, it looks like a box that's leaning towards the side, obviously. Then we have a one hand down from the nose, pit of the neck. We can draw a box. One box, two box. Split this in half. Split this in half. We have our sternum, rib cage, rib cage. So as you can see, because we're building this out through flat shapes and then making them more outward, it becomes a lot easier. Notice how when I make the male body, the pelvis is about the same size as the rib cage, and I'm going to make the shoulders wider so it looks like a triangular motion. Here we have a 3-finger gap. Here we have our pelvis. Here we have our arm, or not our arm, our clavicle, one hand length. Another clavicle, one hand length, and make sure that this is a little bit shorter because this is going back into space and this would appear longer. Here is our arm. And just drag it down. For the legs, once again, we can basically simplify this into rectangles. So here is our foot. Here's our foot side view, just to put some different views. And of course this will be erased mostly, just so we can have some room. So here we have the calf muscle this way. So once we have our body pretty much done for us, we can just go ahead and erase most of this, because we have the base already that we can go off of lightly. And then we can go ahead and draw over these. There. So let's start off with the pectoralis area first, or the torso area first. Here we have the neck, which is a nice little tree trunk, I should say. Here we have the sternocleidomastoid from the ear down to the pit of the neck. And we can also show that on the other side. Here we have the trapezius going outward. Trapezius. We have our pectoralis, not pectoralis, our deltoid going across from our, underneath our clavicle. Then we have our pectoralis. Wait, let me just draw the deltoid on the other side. Because I usually like to draw the deltoid first so I can draw the pectoralis underneath. So here we have the pectoralis, and that is a nice divide. There's a nice divide between the pectoralis and the sternum itself. Have it stretch out a little bit. Here are the nipples. Here we have the bicep. And here we can kind of start building out our muscle on the back. So here is our latissimus dorsi. And in the middle we have our serratus muscles. But here let's go ahead and just get started on dividing, putting a middle line between the torso and the pubic bone area, just so we can use that as a reference for our abdominal muscles. So here we have the lats, and here we have a little bit of the scapula kind of coming out, so that's why we can sort of see a wing coming out, or there's like a bit of a stretch coming out. So here is our serratus muscles. And we have our sheath. And then we have our obliques that kind of trail downward. Avocado slices. And then the obliques. So here we have the abs as well. If you want to group them together, you can. So we have one group up top, one group in the middle, one more group, and then the last one kind of stretches all the way down. And here we have the navel. I would say that's about where the navel is. It's more of a floaty bit, so you don't have to worry about that too much. Some people's navels are shorter than others. So here we have the bicep here for the arm. We have the tricep kind of coming through. Then we have our elbow. And because our thumb is facing this way, that means it's kind of rotated. So here's our brachioradialis. And our forearm, the rest of the forearm muscles. Let me go ahead and erase a little bit of the arm here. We can just block in the hand just very simply. Then we can go ahead and draw in our bicep on this side. Bicep kind of covers this whole arm here. And here is our forearm muscles. Since they're more relaxed, they're not turning over. It's just more standard. So here's our hand, kind of clenched in a fist, sort of. For the legs, same thing. Here we have our front of the leg, which is divided by sartorius. So if you guys remember how to do that, it's dividing the leg into two parts. Here's the front. Here's the inside. Oh, and if you want to draw the genitalia, just kind of put a little package here. A little bulge here, so you don't have to draw it, but I would just draw pants on, but you don't have to. So here's our sartorius, and here is the front of our leg, and here is our kneecap. If you want to draw the muscles, you want to have them bulge out a little bit. So here is our rectus femoris. Our sartorius kind of coming through. Here is our medialis. Our big quad up at the top. And this is our lateralis. So as you can see, as we build it up, it becomes more muscular and have more form rather than look like jelly. So here we have the muscle in front of the shins that kind of connect downward. And here we have the calf, which is sort of like our tricep or a bicep. No, it's our bicep. Wait, no, sorry, that's our tricep. Wait, it doesn't matter. Yeah, oh well. Sometimes this stuff is really confusing to memorize. Make sure your legs aren't too long. So if you feel like you're abnormally stretching them, just shorten them. I would say this side on the outer side is smoother, while the inside is more crossing over and kind of just more like has more of a bit of a bump. And of course, if you remember how to draw feet, our front is higher, and then our pinky area is lower. For the side, you can just divide these by 3. Into 3 parts, and then just use that as a guideline. Here is the heel, here is the foot, because this is the big foot or the big toe, you'll kind of want to make it a little bit fatter. And there is our 3/4 body. Let me know if that helped. I think that this was a pretty good one, actually. I liked it. I'm glad that they look kind of, interchangeable and kind of just like you're rotating them in space. And yeah, anyways, that's it for this video. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.